Pro-Palestinian protests continue to escalate on campuses across the United States, sparking hundreds of arrests. Protesters recently gathered at the annual White House Correspondents' Association dinner in Washington, where President Biden was delivering a speech. Many were adorned in vests bearing the names of Palestinian journalists lost in the Gaza conflict. As guests filed into the event, these protesters laid themselves down in front of the venue in a powerful display of solidarity. This week, over 20 Palestinian journalists penned an open letter, urging their American counterparts to boycott the dinner. As this was unfolding, police were moving in on a pro-Palestinian protest at Northeastern University in Boston. Officials report that approximately 100 individuals were detained and removed from the site. However, those carrying student identification will not face any legal repercussions. This recent standoff at Northeastern University is but one in a series of pro-Palestinian demonstrations occurring at campuses throughout the United States. One such protest has been ongoing at Columbia University in New York for the past week. Today, there have been arrests at Indiana State University as well, with roughly 69 individuals detained. Negotiations are simultaneously ongoing at Columbia University in New York regarding the protest camp there. These pro-Palestinian demonstrations have been a fixture at numerous universities for several months now. However, the mood has noticeably shifted in the past week following an incident at Columbia on April 18th. Dozens of people were arrested as the NYPD was called onto the campus to dismantle a protest camp, igniting tensions and sparking a surge in protest camps across the country. The protesters expressed dissatisfaction with the US government's support for the Israeli military campaign. They are calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and demanding that their universities sever ties with companies linked to Israel. However, many Jewish students claim they feel intimidated by these demonstrations. There have been numerous reports of verbal and even physical assaults on Jewish individuals by pro-Palestinian demonstrators. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, along with many in Congress, label these protests as anti-Semitic. The demonstrators, of course, deny these allegations. University administrators suggest that much of the unrest is caused by radical elements from outside the student body. This theory is supported by the fact that many of those detained in these protests are not registered students at the universities where they're protesting. In conclusion, the pro-Palestinian protests at US universities continue to intensify, leading to hundreds of arrests and a significant shift in campus atmosphere. The demonstrators are calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and for their universities to divest from companies linked to Israel. However, these protests have been met with allegations of anti-Semitism and reports of intimidation against Jewish students. As negotiations continue and tensions rise, the future of these protests remains uncertain.